You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa! Let's do it up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders Undercover Capes. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. Now, we had an awesome independent filmmaker last time. So guess what? I'm keeping on that theme with yet another awesome independent movie creator. My man is kicking ass. He got some stuff out there. Let me introduce to you, my man is going to be killing it on the independent circuit and a whole lot more. Para que tú sepa, all right? The one and only Lorenzo Benitez, along with his big homie right here, Zach Benedict. What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
We're doing good, Al. Great to be here.
Hey, man, I'm pumped up, man. Ready to talk to you guys. I was peeping your film, man. Let me tell you, I felt as locked up as homie. And I've been working remotely for years, but I mean, that's some truth you caught up in this film. I even was fucking dying at the scene with the poor delivery guy. I've done that to homies. Throw get out. Now, so, bro, again, thank you guys for coming on, taking a little bit of time out of your day from being creative just to chit chat with me. So, with that, Lorenzo, Zach, what up?
We're doing great, man. We're just we're hanging out.
We're hanging in our studio, which is just my house.
Where's the studio at? Where y'all guys calling from right now?
His apartment.
We're over in Brooklyn, in New York. So.
Oh man, I'm an OG Brooklynite from Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Where you guys at in Brooklyn?
We're East Williamsburg.
Yeah.
You can't throw a stone here without hitting a filmmaker. So
East Williamsburg, bro. Yeah, man. I was hanging out at CYN Lounge all the time in Bedford back in the day. Yeah, bro. So
Very cool.
man, I know that area, bro. I was going to that pizzeria with the dude that really sounds like Mario from the video game. Every time I would go in there at 2:00 in the morning, he's talking about how many slices you want, 1 or 2. I'm like, are you fucking with me or am I that drunk? You know what I'm saying? So talk about yourself. So first, Lorenzo, man, like where are you originally from, and give me a little bit of your origin story. How you what was your first bite of fandom, and what led you onto your journey to do what you do?
So I'm originally from the Philippines, actually, and I moved to the States about 5 years ago.
5 years ago? Nice,
yeah.
Bro. Welcome to America. You landed when it was been a while.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Yeah, came here. I went to school with Zach, actually, and for the first few years we
We
went to Cornell, upstate.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and then when we were there, we didn't really do anything for the first couple of years together.
Yeah, we were like neighbors sophomore year because we both transferred in.
Mm-hmm.
So that was how we became friends, just by chance.
So Zach is jumping in too. So all right. So you said y'all both got there. So where you come from, Zach?
Well, I'm from Manhattan, New York. Both my parents are from the Bronx, and my grandparents immigrated here from Europe. And I basically just, grew up in the city, went to high school around here. And then
what's the high school, man? I went to Van Arsdale in Brooklyn, which is in Williamsburg.
Oh, yes. I went to Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was like 4 blocks away from my house. That was my number one reason for going.
Me too, man. Van Arsdale was walking distance, and thank God I went there, because had I gone to Grover, Cleveland, and Queens with the rest of my friends, I probably would have been a dropout like them. I got into too much trouble, in New York. So Lorenzo, back to you. So what are with you? So your journey, you came here 5 years ago. You're doing your thing. You met Zach. So what's popping from there?
Well, towards the end of college, we made our first film together because I thought we're about to graduate. We may as well use this window to collaborate. But that actually wasn't our last collaboration. We've made probably since then 3 films together, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of which this is the one this latest
is the third one, right?
Yeah, the one that we're showing now, Crazy Hat Fridays, is the third of those.
Amazing. So talk about that. So I want to know first, what got you into this type of journey, Lorenzo? What was it what was the bug that bit you? What was that stinger that said, Toma, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life? What inspired you?
I got into filmmaking, I guess, because I thought it wasn't as boring as writing, but that's the thing that like I always thought I was like a creative person, but then like I
Okay.
decided that films were my thing, and then even more specifically, comedy, which I've been doing with Zach as of late. Are like I used to make a lot of like serious movies before instead that were about serious topics, especially
Did
documentaries.
did you
But
do them in the Philippines, or did you know, would you doing it in the Philippines as well before you came to the States?
no, yeah, one of my films was shot in the Philippines. Some were shot in the States as well. So
Where in the Philippines you from, man? Shout out your pueblo. Come on.
Manila, actually.
Manila. Where?
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm from Metro Manila, the Big Smoke back there.
The big
So
smoke. Why do they call it the big smoke? Everybody's blunted. What is it?
no, it's just a big city over there. That's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
messing around, bro.
20 million people all crammed together in one place. So
Just like Manhattan, don't you love it?
yeah, yeah, the Manila is a good preparation for New York. That's for sure. If you want to, wave your fist at another driver, who
Oh,
cuts you
great,
off.
man.
So.
Be that old man with my white beard doing this is not a good look, you know?
So
Bro,
yeah, that's what I did at first, and yeah, I've been making comedies with Zach for the past few years.
nice. But what was the bug that bit you? When did you know you wanted to do this?
Probably like 10 years ago at this point, because I'm currently 25. So when I was 15 years
Oh,
old,
you're a young motherfucker. Yo, let me check you out, son. Damn.
yeah.
You're almost half my age. Thank God, almost. Good for you, kiddo. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. So talk about that. So 15 years old, you've been inspired to do this. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
What was the first film you saw that got you into it?
It wasn't actually watching films; it was making them. I was
Making-
really not
really?
that cultured.
Oh, really? So you weren't watching stuff. You were just like, yo, I want to make something fun. How? All right. So then let me ask this question: who put that first camera in your hand?
Huh. My friend, I guess. Oh, I started doing this short film where I was supposed to act and my friend was supposed to direct. And as we made it and time went on, we kind of like swapped roles where I started being behind the
Okay.
camera more, and he ended up like being more in front of camera. And then I
You're,
realized
you're more of an actor than I am. So let's switch.
exactly, yeah. I realized that I didn't really have time for the acting part. I think because I was also into like photography and theater and a bit of writing as well. Like all of these different aspects get combined together when you work in film. And even though acting is one thing, and no offense to those who do it, it was less interesting to me than being behind the camera. So
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Filmmaking is more of like the holistic process because, you were involved with not just the writing and the acting, which I was involved in a little bit, but you also did like the color correction. So you were looking at like colors and framing of things. You were also like, even though you didn't score it, you were talking to the guy who did. So I feel like because you also do music stuff, his DJ name is Old Testament.
I didn't know you were going to talk about.
Oh, yes, we are. Well, relevant.
Chippa.
Lorenzo kind of is a jack of all trades, and so I feel like it does make sense that you're a filmmaker because it allows you to do, all those things at once.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yo,
Indeed.
brother, I live by that testament as well. Jack of all, I really love to learn as much as I can, not to be a pro, but to be proficient
Mm-hmm.
enough that I could handle it. Like if somebody try to challenge me, I will definitely be up to the task. Like, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Who you talking to? I love it. So Zach, a bit about you, man. So you said Manhattan. What was your creative bug? What were your inspirations? How'd you get into this whole business?
Well, I think it really started when I was a little kid when my younger brother was born, because I definitely spent most of my time growing up entertaining him, just because my grandparents would babysit us and they would take us out to do fun stuff, but they were also just they were European immigrants, so they would kind of be like, "Oh, Power Ranger, very cool," and then that would be the end of it.
Where from in Europe, though? Do you know?
Hungary and Poland.
Okay, nice, brother. Did
It's
you do a 23andMe?
No, I just know that because
nice.
Yeah, because we got a lot of relatives that are from Hungary, and they all talk like the Count from Sesame Street.
Oh, I understand now.
Yeah. Oh, Zachary. So that's basically anybody from Hungary talks like that. It's a Transylvanian accent, but yeah, like. But yeah, so we basically my brother and I have always been like, making up characters and doing stuff like that. And then in school, I actually was in like school plays and like shit from Shakespeare to musicals and stuff like that. And then going on into high school, I did drama club, and then I was in a comedy group in college. And so it was always just kind of like
cool.
something that I did, in addition to whatever else I was doing. And then like senior year, being able to actually do a film with Lorenzo, like there's actually, you're forgetting, we briefly did Sunday together. That was our first official collaboration.
Sunday? What's that?
Well, it was like a really short film that
has not seen the light of day, and
probably won't. It was not the best, but it kind of prompted us to be like, more than just like party friends that we would just hang out and just do those kinds of things together, but also just more of in a creative capacity. And then after doing that first film, it was like an eye opener for me that I think we work really well together when it comes to the style in which Lorenzo shoots films and the way that like I act in films and how I like portray certain characters. And I think that that's been a really fun part of the process for a lot of this, because I think everything that we've done up until this point and most of what we will do going forward has like the involvement of this one central character, Frank, who just like he's all kinds of stuff happens to him. And it's not necessarily like, the Frank cinematic universe or anything. It's not all connected per se, but, we do try and place a very specific kind of dude in certain kind of situations to try and get people to like, if they're laughing at the character, maybe they're not relating to the character, they might relate to the situation that he's in. Because I think, while Frank is definitely an exaggeration of a lot of different things, I think we put like both of our like, embarrassing faults and traits into Frank and accentuate it as much as possible for comedic effect.
So what's the inspiration behind that character then? Where do you dig in?
Well, I think it's mostly because I think, honestly, if I'm being honest, I think it stemmed from when we would first like go out to parties and such. Cause like I would kind of act like an idiot when we would go out and kind of pretend to be this person that I was not, just because, it'd be like you go to some fraternity party and you're like, I'm never going to see these people again. Might as well like, have a little fun.
Hey, bro, I work with Elon, yo. Why I launched that rocket? I lit the fuse.
or just walk up there and be like, yeah, I know Josh. And they're like, what? Who's? And because there's some Joshes there. They'll let you know.
I know every goddamn Josh. There's like 50 of them in this show.
Exactly. So, it's like doing those, I feel like, then there's just a bunch of other situations like that where it's just like, not just me acting like an idiot, but also, Lorenzo and our other friends just kind of like doing an impersonation of me, like as that, character that was fucking with people. And then, it kind of became its own thing where we just kind of do this voice where it's like in Remember the Lobster specifically, I do this voice, which is my impression of Lorenzo's impression of me. And we've ditched the voice in our later ones, but we've retained the core aspects of the character, which is just kind of like this. I don't know if you'd even call him a lovable idiot, because sometimes you kind of hate him, but he also.
Okay, I got the perfect words for you. One of my friends called me this one day, and I really just burst into laughter because we were at a convention, right? We were brought to interview someone. There was this person standing in front of the table. So I pleasantly asked them to move, but I was, in my New York accent, which doesn't sound pleasant, you know what I mean? I asked them to move. my friend then looks down at another table and says, like, yo, I'm a fan of that actor. Where is he? Oh, your friend was the pleasant asshole that just asked him to move. I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry, homie. I didn't mean it. I'm here for business. So apparently, being called the pleasant asshole is something.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, we definitely have some of ourselves in Frank, and maybe like, even if you definitely are diametrically opposed to 95% of everything that Frank is, maybe you get like one moment or situation where you're like,
connect.
Just even if it's really small, if you can make that connection, I feel like that's pretty cool.
Oh,
that's a pretty philosophical description of a character who I just thought was kind of looked like the fun idiot who it's funny to see suffer misfortune.
I mean, yeah, that's essentially what it is, right? If you get, I feel like that's like kind of the baseline for it, because most people are not going to go that deep on it, but like at the very least, what you'll take away from it is he's kind of like, the clown that kind of slips on the banana peel and I don't want to give anything away in the.
No, but what attracted to that Lorenzo to do that type of story? Why that narrative in your creativity?
To be perfectly honest, it's a bit more autobiographical than I care to admit. Like,
really?
Yeah. The circumstances of Crazy Hat Friday up until the character dying are all kind of true. I worked a similar job that required me to pitch. Do pitch meetings, and there was Crazy Hat Friday, and it was actually early in the pandemic, a couple of months into it, when I was wearing a crate on my head for Crazy Hat Friday in my office, and I was like, people in my office would laugh a lot at me.
Was it filtered?
Sorry?
Was it filtered at least?
Oh yeah, it was. There were holes in the crate.
There was, yeah. It wasn't like gonna suffocate me just yet. But it started to hurt my head because crates aren't supposed to be worn on your head anyway.
Really?
Well, obviously.
I had no idea.
And then, while I was there, I was thinking, like, my coworkers are laughing, and I thought to myself, they don't realize how much it hurts to actually wear this. What if I just died on this Zoom call? And then that prompted the idea of like, what if something ridiculous happened on these Zoom calls? And that's what led to the whole story for this. So,
and it's crazy because the in the film itself, there are certain moments where Frank is on the job and there are calls. On the calls, Frank is saying stuff. His coworkers and his boss are saying things, and Lorenzo wrote those things. But I can also say from experience, like from listening to him be on those calls, like we were doing some delivery job for our friend's brother, and while we were waiting for the packages, he like is on this call at work, and it's literally some of the dialogue is almost word for word, like in terms of just like the condescension, the apathy, and I feel like Lorenzo knew that it was not it was a contract job, so it would have been up. I feel like if it was more permanent, it would have been a little more like doom and gloom, but we both just started laughing because that he was on mute and that, they were just kind of being so ridiculous and taking this thing so seriously.
Exactly.
I love it. So if people wanted to tune into this film, like where we going, man? What we got to look at?
You got to go to benedict.tv. It will be right there.
So what's Benedict?
That's my last name.
So that's what it is. What's the .tv? Talk to me, man. Is that a production company that you're trying to build out of this mofo too? What's popping?
Yeah. So we actually, after we made Remember the Lobster,
our first film.
Remember the Lobster, poor guy, bendito.
After we made that,
wait, I gotta ask. Did he taste good? Did it taste good?
No, there were no live animals used in the filming of that production.
Yeah, don't get Peter on our ass, bro. Come on.
I ain't fucking with Peter. Ain't the only Peter I know is Peter bread. Tastes good with a gyro.
Delicious. Yeah, the only lobster that was in there was just like in the tank somewhere.
No animals were murdered as part of that production, but we made one film together, and then afterwards we wanted to make a few more. And so we came up with this. We call it a content factory.
No, it's called, the full name is Eggs Benedict Phase Shift Culture Factory.
God damn, that's a long ass name.
Yeah,
I love it.
We know it's ridiculous. We kind of like we had to put it under some umbrella anyway. So instead of like trying to be serious and coming off as pretentious, we decided to just lean into being pretentious fully and just make it as ridiculous as possible. Because how many times have you been followed by someone who has their name on Instagram and it's like successful or millions with a dollar sign, and they're like, listen, man, you're doing great out there. I bet you could do even better. And they start using things like grind set and like things like that.
You know what murders me? The motherfuckers that give me that, when I go look at their following, they're like 200 followers. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, exactly. So just this like, and not just with like finance shit, but just like fake motivational content that you see all over the place.
I actually just saw there's some horror show on Netflix called Bloodlines, kind of like a UK based like Twilight Zone type of shit. And they have a story like that on the elaboration of social media, which is funny. Some lady is telling chicks how to look until the mom shows the kiddos like, yo, this is how this chick really looks. All right. So why are you listening to her?
Exactly. It's funny. I feel like these things have always existed in these big like cult leaders and stuff. But then but then in social media, you almost have these even smaller spheres where people are, pretending to know more than they do, or you got people that are saying like, oh man, I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna make a movie with The Rock and everything, and it's dude, you need to make a movie, period. Before
you know what though? I would believe them if they made a movie with The Rock, because if they actually bring in an actual rock, they've made a movie with The Rock.
Exactly, that'd be something. But I feel
false advertising, but hey.
So I feel like a lot of times, like we're making like the social media aspect of the production company is just kind of like pretending to be focused more on the success than actually like making good films.
We're very good self-promoters because we let the promotion outrun the actual things to promote. So
yeah, exactly.
So how do you navigate that journey? How do you even navigate haters on that journey if you've encountered those? I doubt it though, because you guys are productive, but there's always an asshole.
Oh, I was gonna say I doubt it because we're a bit too small. Like, we have to get like, we'd probably have to be a little more visible.
Say it with me. We're gonna be the best in the world. Just say it with me. Speak it onto the world.
We're gonna be the best we can be. We don't need to be the best in the world. Just the best we can be, man.
I want you to be in the world. Come on, guys. Young Comic Crusaders. I want you to be the best.
You're the best. Say you want to be the best in the world, Lorenzo.
Say it, bro. Say
you're gonna be the best
Speak
in the
it.
world.
Speak it onto the world.
Look, put it to you this way. You ask my mom, I'm already the best in the world. So
hey, always mama. Don't you love moms? Yo, that's the one thing about moms. It was moms that took me to my fandom and geekdom, buying me comic books that I shouldn't have been reading at my age.
That's funny because my mom took mine away, and I remember the specific issue too.
What? Please tell me. I'm curious.
It was Secret Invasion when they were talking about the Human Torch, not the Fantastic Four one, the OG Android one.
Yeah, Toro.
Yeah, well, no, Toro was his sidekick.
I mean, the OG.
But yeah,
the OG. John, what was it? Jim?
He was the guy who was the android.
Yeah.
And it was like, she saw something where it was like his head hooked up to a bunch of things. And she opened it up. She's like, what is this? She flipped and saw it. It was rated T+ and was like, no. And took it away from me. And then every time me and my brother would get comic books, we always had to like, hide it under like a Spider-Man for kids or like a Sonic the Hedgehog to be like, look, see, it's age appropriate.
Oh my God.
Yo, Lorenzo, were you into comics when you were in the Philippines at all?
No, not really myself. I was very uncultured growing up, to be perfectly honest. I don't think I had much of a taste by way of film.
So you weren't a TV fan, a comic book fan, nothing, gaming, nothing?
I played a lot of video games, I feel, growing up.
So what was your joint then in video gaming?
Oh, I really liked strategy games, actually. I was really into like real-time and turn-based strategy, but also like first-person adventure games.
He's a chess player, folks. Don't fuck with Lorenzo.
That's really funny because he does live with one of our friends who is a chess player,
and I always lose chess. I'm not that good, Al. I'm not that good. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm trying to hype you up, man. I mean, you know what? If I'm there to cheerlead you, that'll be the day you're gonna beat that person's ass.
Maybe.
Right.
Hey, that would be if you ever beat Carl. Like, actually, I will treat you to dinner. That would be an occasion.
Carl. Lorenzo challenges you here on this podcast. He's gonna beat your ass, and Zach is gonna buy him the dinner. Yo, Lorenzo,
I'll buy you a steak dinner.
You're in Brooklyn. Not just let him pick. Look, he's trying to tell you what to eat, Lorenzo. What would you really get given the opportunity to eat anything you want?
If I could eat anything,
if you beat Carl and I buy you a meal, what do you get?
Anything. Yeah, you make him spend because he's talking shit here about.
I'm talking a lot of shit. I don't think you can do it.
Like he's really. Yeah, look at that. He's telling you can't do it. Holy shit!
Dude,
you gotta make him eat his words. What would be the ideal meal?
Dude, I guess. Dude, we mentioned this earlier, but I wanna have like a big lobster. You know.
I'll get you the biggest lobster I can find.
Yeah,
we'll cook it out here.
Something like a big seafood meal.
You know what? When that happens, Lorenzo, please send me pictures, and I'm gonna say, "You remember this podcast, folks?" I love it. Yo, bro, that's great. Yo, I'm a driving fan. I'm a first-person shooter, even though I suck. Throw me on some Mortal Kombat, some Street Fighter, or I have some fun. Don't make me be Blanco because I'll just cheese you the whole time, and then you would never be my friend again.
Oh man,
that's the truth. I would just corner you and electrocute you for the whole round.
That's why I can't play video games with my brother anymore. He just got too good.
Oh no. Let me tell you, my wife almost divorced me because I did that. She's like, "You motherfucker, you better fight fair or I'm out."
Yeah, me and my girlfriend got into a fight because I kept beating her at Mario Kart on the DS.
Oh no, you know what? I always used to talk shit. I was beating the crap out of my daughter and my wife, and my daughter finally got better. And there came the day that finally I got Yoda. You know what I mean? She fucking taught me. It's like, oh shit, yo. Now, ever since that win, she really doesn't want to play me because she knows I've been practicing.
Yeah, that was with me and my brother. Except my brother just kept getting better, and now I can't play Smash Bros with him unless it's been like at least 3 months since he's played.
Please tell me you guys were fans of N64 and the WCW versus NWO. That was one of the most fun games ever.
That was I think we're a little too young for that one, but I know what you're talking about.
Gee, thanks. Folks, it says it all, right? Look how they're trying to make me feel horrible.
Honestly, my parents were also very conservative about getting us video games. So if they had let us get it when we were like actually kids, we probably would have, but we didn't really start playing video games like that.
Well, you know what? You didn't have a Blockbuster because that's where I got my collection. I would buy used games for $10, $15 a pop. Better than paying $50, $60, right?
For sure.
So that's where my whole collection built up from. Blockbuster, good old days. I still have them motherfuckers with the sticker on it that says Blockbuster.
Oh, that's hype.
Yeah, man, good stuff. So what else do we have in the future for you guys, bro? I want to know, man. You guys seem to be like really fun, really on point, really on edge. This movie, you got to tell people where they could watch it, but of course, like what else you got going on?
Well, I think if you follow us on Benedict.tv on social media, Crazy at Friday is not officially out like publicly yet because we have a YouTube page and on our website we have Surprise Inspection and Remember the Lobster. But right now, Crazy at Friday is being shown at numerous film festivals. There's a couple that it's being shown at for sure. You can find out what those are because I'm not going to go through all of them here. You could follow.
But have you guys submitted to Geek Fest Film Fest?
Geek Fest Film Fest.
Lorenzo's the one who does all that logistical stuff.
No, we haven't. You got to tell me more, Al.
Oh my God, Bill Ostroff! It's an amazing film fest. What they do is actually travel via comic book conventions and showcase films. So, and people get to vote on the top films. So, I mean, you could travel the circuit and conventions with them at Geek Fest Film Fest. So, I highly recommend it. Not because they're just friends of ours, but Bill really has a good heart when it comes to independent filmmakers. Is really what he believes in, and I'm with him on that because I believe in independent comic book makers is how he believes in independent filmmakers. Just
Yeah,
such
for
as I.
sure.
So I think you guys should really check out the Geek Fest Film Fest. You have a great time. I was recently with him at MegaCon here in Orlando, and we had a showing on a Friday night. We had a great amount of people show up and check out all the films, for that 1 hour. I think no, they gave him 1 hour or 2 hour segment on that first day.
Mm.
Oh, that's nice.
At the convention, which is nice. And we saw the room, beautiful room that fit up to about 200 people, a great big screen, and good equipment. So check them out, man. It's a way to your film to even get further noticed through the comic book scene. But that was my other question: is like, do you guys do any touring on conventions, and if so, where can we see you?
We've traveled a bit for other film festivals, but we haven't traveled as much as we'd like. A lot of our films releases have just been in like the New York metropolitan area so far.
And for outside of that, they've mostly been online because of the pandemic. Like we had that one in the UK.
Yeah, it is hard to travel, admittedly, with the pandemic.
So how have you dealt with that as filmmakers? How did you? Was there any learning curve that you could share with our viewers about that learning curve in COVID? Being filmmakers and having a push a project.
I think most of it's just been online. Obviously, if for example, like talking to you, we would not necessarily have known about Geek Fest otherwise. Okay. I have a friend who knew someone that was doing a film festival in California, and so we submitted it there. You submit to all the big ones, but also really look for places where
look for the indie, man. Look for those indie joints. And again, Geek Fest is not even just indie; it's national,
right?
So, and they even international because they do all the Fan Expo events, which means you also in Canada.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's definitely a way to go. I also think in terms of like if you can't travel too much, there's usually stuff that you can find locally. And maybe, if you're not in New York City for sure, but if you don't live in New York City, if like wherever your nearest city is, they most likely have, festivals there where you can submit and likely get into because they're more likely to support local filmmakers. And that's probably one thing that's helped us a lot just by virtue of being in a place where there are a lot of film festivals, like across the 5 boroughs. We were able to submit to a lot of places that were just like, a train or a bus ride away.
But even more than just that's with regards to festivals beyond where you are. I think that having a strong social media presence is now more important than ever with that's your front of shop when you're trying to meet other people through the fests. And so like just as important to our productions, I would say, is our actual social media presence. Like,
yeah, I agree.
We would not probably have made this production company if we didn't have the Benedict.tv domain name and the Benedict.tv username on Instagram, because those are the places through which we direct all people to, like, this is how you both see our old content, but also stay up to date on our new stuff, which is coming out. So, yeah.
Do you also do work for hires? If somebody wants you to do a project, are you guys open to those projects, or is everything just internally based and you're working on what you're working on?
Absolutely. We're currently eyeing the possibility of doing other forms of content beyond just like the short film circuit.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we want to do things including music videos, some branded content stuff that leans more comedy based. We think that when you have somebody like this who looks too much like Seth Rogen and Nick Kroll, you gotta
if he makes that beard just a little bit thicker, bro. Yeah, you got another clone right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I also think that like just going off of that, it's really important to like be open to new ideas and things like that. Like if someone has an idea for something, we definitely flesh it out. Like I have a friend who wanted, he has his own thing. He does like commercials and stuff, like cinematography for it, but he also wants to do, like a sketch or like a short film or something like that. And so
to Zach's point, more than just working with other people for hire, we're also open to work with other people as collaborators with regards to more like we have a trundle wheel of embarrassing situations to put the character Frank through. and that's always going to be the wheel of stuff we want to make stories on. But obviously, if other people like have something interesting that they want to see Zach subjected to, then sure, like why not? You know.
And there might even come up, because we've had Lorenzo play very small roles in our films thus far, but definitely getting Lorenzo more involved with certain things, because like for example, with Crazy Hat Friday, Lorenzo was primarily the cinematographer and, of course the writer, but most of his work was spent like really shooting and editing after the fact. We have another short film in the works that's just about finished that we should have coming out in the next month or so, or at least submitting to festivals and such, where Lorenzo wasn't the cinematographer. We actually had our other film partner, Noah Goodman, do the writing and directing. And so Lorenzo took more of a backseat role and still provided input, but he was also an actor. He had played a small role in that film. And I think that really speaks to like Lorenzo's ability specifically as a creative, because he's able to like step into all of these different things. And I definitely try and use that as inspiration for when I try and contribute to like writing or even directing or, looking at different types of cinematography. So I feel like that gives us a lot of versatility when it comes to collaborating with others or making projects, because we're kind of like, if you have a good idea or if you want to make something that you think is good and you think that we can help with that, we'll do it in like any capacity. Because, we're always willing to like learn and try new things and get out of our comfort zone in order to, make something that we're proud of.
Excellent. I love that. That's the right energy to have, the right attitude to have. That's what I'm digging. This is fellow New Yorkers. I feel you, fellow Brooklynites, son. I love to see this. Entrepreneurs, people that are passionate about what they're into. This is key. Like, I love what I do, and I see the energy you have. You guys got like an amazing aura behind you guys. So I see nothing but success for you guys. Yo, for real. Y'all hungry, and I'm digging it. And I can't wait to hopefully, listen, when I go visit Mama back in Brooklyn, I'm going to make sure to hit you guys up, and maybe you could hit a lounge up in East Williamsburg and have a brew or two.
Yes, sir.
If that's your thing. I'm not going to assume you drink beer.
But
we all eat pizza, yes?
Look, we'll smoke a bit of weed. We'll drink a bit. We'll do some pizza. No worries, man. Listen, it's legal here, man. It's all good.
We're consumers of all kinds of content, Al.
Wonderful. And just to prove my point, I want to take it to that pizzeria where the dude's going to wind up talking like Luigi, and you're going to look at me and say, I was not lying.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that.
Just to say that I wasn't crazy. I was not drunk. How many slices you want? Yeah, I love it, bro. I was like, yo, homie bugging. Stop fucking with me. Let me get the lasagna slice.
Watch, we're going to walk in and it'll just be like, hey, guys, what do you get? Pizza?
All right. So is there any place we're going to see you lately, live in person?
We have a couple of festivals in Philadelphia coming up, actually. This weekend on the 3rd, we're showing a short called Surprise Inspection, which is about 3 minutes long, and it's the opener to a feature film there. And then I think we're going to be back in Philly for First Glance Film Festival in a couple of weeks.
First Glance? Nice.
Yeah.
Also Sludge Rudder.
Yeah, and then those are 2 in Philly, and then we have 2 coming up in New York. One is in Bushwick at this place called Sludge Rudder.
Where in Bushwick, bro? Because damn, man, I lived in Bushwick for so many years. I first lived on Jefferson. And what was the other avenue I lived on? Jesus Christ, I forgot now. No, it wasn't Central. It's right off of Jefferson.
We're right off of Flushing Ave. I don't know how many blocks away from Maria Hernandez, but it's between Maria Hernandez and Flushing, I remember.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So that's one. And then later we have the New York City Short Comedy Film Festival where we're showing Crazy Hat Friday again. So we have 4 festivals coming up in the next month.
Keep them busy, man. That's wonderful. So
I'm excited for Sludge Rudder specifically.
Sludge Rudders.
It's Caleb and Nick, 2 really funny people that also make sketches and things like that. I'll plug the shit out of that any day, man. I watch their stuff like every time they put something out, I'll watch it 3 times.
Yeah, I love it. The best place out to just keep up with all of this, because there are a lot of moving pieces, is just benedict.tv. That's both our Instagram username and our website. So
Yes.
those are the best places to stay abreast of all.
Yes,
of them.
indeed.
I love it. I love it, man. Any last words you want to leave creators with that are on your very same journey? Any lessons you've learned that you want to share?
I guess I would add, make sure you have fun while doing it, because it's easy to sometimes get wound up and preoccupied with making the best product. But in order for this to be a sustainable thing, because oftentimes with creators, this is not our day job or the first thing we do to make money. The way to actually have that sustainable motivation is to make sure you're having fun throughout. So
yeah, I would also say, as like the other side of that coin, to always be pushing yourself. Like, Lorenzo and I may not agree on 100% of everything, but if we agree on like 75%, and then we can, really hash out that 25%, you can end up creating through that something that neither of you would have expected, where it's like greater than the sum of its parts. And
I love that.
Always be self-aware and understand, like really understand what your own flaws are, and try to be around people that can complement those flaws or push you out of your comfort zone, or be willing to like call you out on your bullshit. And because like we all got bullshit that prevents us from being the best we can be. And so
listen, when you have good people that can't call you out on that bullshit, that's a friend.
Exactly. So like if I'm if I'm need to go somewhere that I'm not comfortable doing, Lorenzo will push me to do that. Or if Lorenzo is doing something that's like out of pocket, I'll like pull him back. It's like a synergy that happens between the both of us, and with our partner Noah, where we're all helping, just kind of, we're dragging each other towards success, kicking and screaming the whole way. But it's really fun. It's fun to do it.
That's my boy Johnny Hughes, the machine. When he sees me act up a little bit, he checks me. He's like, yo, what you doing? And just to have that check, I need that, because this is my baby, but this is also our baby when it comes to my team, because it's all about us, not me. It's about Comic Crusaders, not Omega. It's about us, trying to bring the most positive stuff we can and having fun with it. And you're showing people like everybody could enjoy the culture. Why should we argue about anything? If you don't like it, you know what? It's okay. Ignore it and just talk about what you like. Why is it so fucking important for people to talk about what they hate? Sometimes I just don't get it. Like, get over it. If you ain't creating, shut the fuck up. I think that's my opinion. I don't know how you.
Yeah, I think that like it's important to like, I'm personally a big subscriber to seeing everything before you can critique it.
Yeah,
especially I know in like the comic book community, because it extends so far beyond comic books, right? Like books, TV, movies, all that stuff.
Anything you guys create could be said. They're gonna be trying to compare it to something, because this is what people do. But the whole thing is they don't get it. What Lorenzo and y'all do is unique. Uncomparable. And this is why I love it. You guys are gonna definitely show people what it is. Slice of life, fun, comedy, humor. Like I said, I was cracking up. I was like, if I was in New York now during COVID, thank God I wasn't. I probably would have been as much as an asshole this guy was most of the time. It wasn't on purpose. It was just a situation, but it still does come out assholish, which is funny and kind of the shows, which had me laughing. You guys have that really that New York sensibility and humor, which for me I really connect with, just because I'm from there. So thank you for that. I also want to thank you. While you're here, y'all young bucks in this, but y'all 3 flicks in and touring. So let me start throwing you flowers. Thank you for sharing your creativity. Thank you for
Thank you for having us on, man. It's
man. Thank you for being you, though. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for creating. Thank you for not being scared. Thank you for willing to take a chance to entertain us. So just remember, fuck all the haters and just always do you. I'm a fan regardless. Wepa.
That's very kind of you to say. Thank you, Al.
Nah, man. There you go. Benedict.tv, folks. Check out Lorenzo. Check out Zach. This is the future of entertainment. These are young homies right here. They're gonna, where am I going to see you next? Saturday Night Live, some shit or what? What are we looking for? What's the goal, kiddos?
Zach wants his dream is to be on Nick Jr.
Yo,
He wants to voice the dog.
No. Here's the thing. That sounds like a joke, but my dream is to actually be a voice actor, like in cartoons and stuff. So like, if I were to be on Nick Jr. in fucking like, or I don't even know if Blazing the Monster Machines is even on Nick Jr. or like, fucking Paw Patrol or anything like that, dude. I'll do that all day. All day, man.
Not for nothing, but that last Paw Patrol has some talent attached to it. Like, god damn, son, Paw Patrol, no joke, son. So yeah, if you land some shit like that, I get it. I get you. I feel the energy. Again, Zach, all you gotta do is just speak it to the world. And just believe you me, man. The synergies will follow. Just speak it, say it out loud. I want to be on this, and it's gonna happen, bro. Yo, that shit is real. Words are powerful. I'm not trying to fuck with y'all. It ain't no magic. I ain't Dr. Strange. I ain't Dr. Mega. You feel me? But it's some truth to you guys just saying what you want. Speak it. Y'all speaking with me here, so I already see you guys as a success. So
thank you, Al. Be careful what you wish for, though. Zach is already very outspoken. So.
I would say, Zach, I love you. Don't wish me no curses. I love you very much. I'll give you a hug when I see you. I promise. All right, anything. Y'all guys are awesome, bro. I love talking to my fellow New Yorkers and Brooklynites and creatives like you. So thank you for telling us what was popping. Thank you for sharing your journey, folks. Just let me share it one more time. Benedict.tv on Insta, _ Lorenzo B, all right, or Zach Benedict with a K right there, B-E-K, Benedict, all right. Well, that sounds so gangster, bro. It sounds like a thug. You sound like a wrestler. Like, well, I could see you walking to the stage, Benedict, the character, like, yo.
I probably got to lift a little more before I do that. These are looking kind of skinny right now.
Hey, bro, you seen the chance we've gotten lately? They don't have to be big. They just have to be agile.
Now I'll be the manager on the side, like Paul Heyman. I'll be like, I'll have the big guy next to me. I'll be like, yeah, and he'll beat you, and he'll do it in 2 rounds. He's like, no, I'll do it in 1 round. And just like talking him up big. It's like, oh shit, you better fucking kick his ass, otherwise I'm dead. Like that's me.
I see you more as a Jimmy Hart, like a mouth of the North, not the mouth of the South. Mouth of the North. Let's do it. Bro, Lorenzo, Zach, you guys have been awesome guests. Thank you for hanging out with me, talking about what y'all do, your craft, your movies. You heard them, folks. Do it on rewind. All right? I ain't going to replay that. Talk about where they're going to be at so you can check out the amazing films that they're working on. He's a very talented individual. Show some love. That's New York Independent right here. Brooklyn in the building. And I love it. So with that, I'm Omega. Lorenzo, Zach, God bless you guys on your journey. Thank you for hanging out. Folks, outro says it all. Hasta la próxima. Much love. Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.